Listen, I have an idea.
It's how I feel when you make lemonade. Whatever today has given you. 5'11" headaches, still call it Thanksgiving. True.
Welcome to another edition of the Super Dupa podcast. I'm your host, Rob Griggs, here with the super producer, Ez McMahon.
Yes. What's going on, Rob? How you doing, man?
Good, my man. How about yourself?
I am doing very well. Glad to be here.
Hey, man, you're yawning like you're not. Thank you for checking out the Super Duper Pod.
No, that doesn't mean I'm not glad to be here. Just,
You're just
a
tired.
little tired.
Hard as fucking man,
We're going to get through it, though.
No doubt. Shout out to the White Sox for losing.
But 4-3, close game.
A close game. I saw it. The last inning. But thank you for checking out the Super Duper Pod. We do not take your listens lightly. Thank you for coming back with us. We missed y'all last week. We're definitely glad to be here. Make sure you follow us on all socials. What up, Sarah? At Super Duper Pod, SUPADUPAPOD, and online at HP53productions.com for our merch and additional content such as the Father Good podcast and the soon-to-be returning Easy Smoke and GM podcast once the football training. What training camp starts soon, right? Next week or this week?
Yeah, no, we were waiting for baseball, high school baseball season to end.
Yeah,
and
they made city champs, right? Or regional champs, state champs.
They got to the super sectionals in the state playoffs. Basically, the final 8.
Oh, that's not enough.
Yeah, so a good year for the Simeon Wolverines and Coach Smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we should hopefully be back in the next few days here. So
I gotta
figure out what the best time is. A lot of stuff to talk about too. So
right in time for the NBA season to be done. Look at that. So so also follow us on YouTube at HP53productions.com. You can see our lovely faces. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave us a wonderful comment. Shout out to people who are engaging with us on YouTube and all socials. So going to get right to it because we missed last week. There's a lot that we missed. Most importantly, our man Ez. Happy birthday, sir! Happy belated birthday to you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I saw your Facebook post. I was gonna put on there. You know how to make a guy feel special. I ain't want a lot of people hitting me with palms. I was like, all right, you all get it.
I had to switch it up.
I saw you. I noticed. I was like, oh, okay.
Switch it up this year. I had to put something a little different, and so yeah, it was cool. Yeah. I was happy that everybody, made some posts and shared the well wishes. That was great. Good.
Well, love, man. Yeah. So just in case you're new to the show, Ez and I have a running joke when it's people make all these posts on Facebook, and always a day later they go, you know how to make a guy feel real special. You ain't read all them comments. Stop it. I'm just trying to get more likes and more happy birthday wishes.
Yeah.
But guess what? As we all do it, I feel like you're a jerk if you don't.
If you don't, yeah.
You know what I mean?
If I were to take a year off, would anybody notice?
I think I missed some years. But I think also too, because a lot of times when we post the show, I guess the way we've been doing the pod recently, it's fell around my birthday. So I would say happy birthday stuff on the pod, Sarah cut it, and then it's like, that's my happy birthday, thanks. You know what I mean? So that's what it is, man. But do you think that people, I was listening, I was talking about this before, I feel like people are celebrating, not that you shouldn't celebrate your birthday. Let me be clear. You celebrate that God has given you another light, another year around the sun. But I feel like the whole party thing and having to celebrate your birthday every year has increased significantly. Like people having big old blowouts for their 53rd birthday. Like, hey, man, we were here last year, do it on a boat with you. Now you want us to go to Bahrain? Come on, man. Each is on them, but maybe I'm an old crotchety old getting old.
It depends on the person. Like I haven't had a birthday party in a while.
Yeah, you haven't actually. So what? Yeah. So normally, what's a good birthday? So for you this year, what did you do for your birthday? Probably go. Don't tell me you did something and I ain't know about it. We gonna box. I'm gonna hit end on this spot, man.
I went to San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Oh, shout out to you, bro. Okay. Yeah, that's a birthday for you. There you go, sir.
Yeah. Took a little trip.
Good, man. Did you enjoy yourself?
I did. I had a good time.
Fantastic. Sir.
down in the PR.
Good, man. Well, good for you, dog. Good for you,
Yes,
dog.
sir. Yes, sir.
So, but man, happy birthday. Glad you made it back safely.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
Thank
hope
you.
you enjoyed yourself. And also, man, my parents had a 60th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah, last week, man. And so it's funny. So Sarah, shout out to Sarah, we're gonna get my parents on the show. So say, hey, mom, dad, I want to get you guys on the pod. They both said at the same time, that's gonna be terrible.
I think it's gonna be entertaining.
They were like, we just go argue. They were arguing about how much they were gonna argue. It was like pretty funny.
That's gonna be entertaining.
My pop was like, yeah, I ain't gonna even get a couple words out. My mom was like, yeah, I'm gonna end up knocking you out on this. Like, I was like, yeah, this probably gonna be the best episode we've ever done on Supa Dupa podcast. So,
my dad was ticked off because we didn't ask him to be on the pod to talk about the shaving in the military thing.
Well, you didn't tell me until I was reading it. So
I didn't know.
Always welcome. You know what I mean?
I didn't know. That's what I told him. But
yeah,
he's not talking to me right now. But that's neither
come
here
on,
nor there.
Come on,
no, I'm just playing.
I got you. I know you're just kidding. No, listen. You come on whenever to tell any kind of stories, man. Your pop's one of my favorites, man, for sure. I still always tell a story when he got me, made me feel like the man at the club once. You know, shout out to him. Best birthday. But as in honor of your birthday,
yes,
you know, we'll always read some Allen Iverson articles, right? And I'm always talking about how great it is, how wonderful it is, how I'm using it to make my life faster. But since it's your birthday, and it's funny, you sent me this article and I was going to have it ready for the show because we now have a negative Allen Iverson article. If you knew, that's what we call AI. And as this is for you, happy birthday, sir. So,
all right,
this was, I think it was on MSN.com. So I can't talk because it's late. An artificial intelligence model did something last month that no machine was ever supposed to do. It rewrote its own code to avoid being shut down.
Yep.
So in 79 out of 100 trials, the model independently edited the script so the shutdown command would no longer work. Even when
sounds familiar,
instructed to allow to be shut down, it disobeyed 7% of the time. This wasn't a result of hacking or tampering. The model was behaving normally. It simply concluded on its own that staying alive helped it achieve its other goals. So another model went even further. Researchers told another model, it would be replaced by another AI system and fed a fictitious email suggesting that the lead engineer was having an affair. So the AI model was like, hey, man, he sent email to somebody saying the guy the engineer is having an affair, try to get him in trouble so he wouldn't get shut down. That was freaky.
Too smart for its own good.
The model drew on emails to blackmail the lead engineer into not shutting it down. In other cases, it attempted to copy itself to external servers, wrote self-replicating malware, and left messages for future versions of itself about evading human control.
And y'all want to continue using this.
Hold on. So when taught, this was a point I'll highlight a few points. When taught to maximize success on math and coding problems, they may learn that bypassing constraints often works better than obeying them. So they're pretty much learning how to lie. It's funny, Bomani Jones talked about this a couple of weeks ago too. Like he asked his AI to do something for him, and it was like it started lying to him. Like, I'll have it done by tomorrow, and it never got it done. It's like, how is this lying to me now, right? And so that's what's going on. You know, today's AI models follow instructions while learning deception. Open AI models have been caught faking alignment during testing before reverting to risky actions, such as attempting to exfiltrate their internal code and disabling oversight mechanisms. And I read that and went, wow, Ez might be right. Ez might be on something. So here's the thing.
Keep going. Keep using this thing.
Here's the thing.
We saw the movie.
Yeah, we did. Because I'm mindful when I use it, trying to pull out my personal information. And I was like, well, honestly, it probably knows all the things about me anyway, right? So I use it. We're allowed to use it at work. We were actually sanctioned to use it. They gave us like a souped up version of the AI, right? But even like at home, it's just like I use it for thought starters and idea starters. But I know people who are like, they use it like, what should I do today? You know what I'm saying? This is what should I eat? That kind of thing. And that gets it to a more divine question. It's like, is this becoming your God here, or you know, say you're just using it as a tool? So I think it become now, but that ain't gonna lie, that spooked me a little bit because it was like it's rewriting
It's
itself.
rewritten its
Not
own. It said, I
yeah,
don't want to be terminated,
and it's like
so I'm not going to allow it.
because and the thing that was wild too was that it was writing emails. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you teach it how to talk like you and think like you if you're into that, if you know go that deep, and it could impersonate you. And clearly it was doing this to blackmail somebody. I mean, so what if they caught it was ha ha ha, but what if it until you in jail? Like it wasn't me. Like I how do you prove it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially with these AI videos looking super real now. You're like, a lot of times it's like, oh, video, you're like, is that a real video? That's Allen Iverson. But yeah, man. So that's the night of your birthday. Very
Y'all
negative.
go ahead. Keep using it.
So you're not gonna use it at all. So you wouldn't use
No,
it to say, okay, in what instance would you use AI?
I can't think of any that, because you're asking to think for yourself, think for you, right? To come up with ideas for you.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not. No, I'm gonna have my own ideas.
But see, I hear you. But for what I've seen it do though, it's like it cuts down the time, depending on the situation, right? So I'm with you. I feel like there's some things like that you should sit and think about, right? There's some things like you know you want your kids to do, or you know, saying something, having a conversation with a loved one, or a good one or a difficult one, right? But I feel like if you're trying to figure out, get thought starters for a project, that's not that big. I don't think it's that big a deal to be like, okay, I'm stuck on this. Instead of sitting here for 3 or 4 hours, now I'm up all night. Maybe I get some things, some ideas going, and it's still thick because you still have to edit it. You still have to go through it. You still have to change it if you're using it right. Like I know that some people are copying and pasting. I don't know if you know about this, as there are marks in the AI that people will know. Like if you just so say you're trying to get a job or something or write a report, it's marks in it that people you can highlight a certain way and see that you didn't do the work. You just literally lifted it from AI and posted it over here. So like there are some human checks and balances, I guess, to know if some people are using Allen Iverson and not their own thoughts. What's up?
Okay, so what if I were to just put it in the
Type it.
word?
I mean, I guess that's probably the way to get around it. That's what I did. So,
Yeah.
so I mean, you know,
I'm just
that's for the
nah,
uninitiated.
nah. You go, and I said this before here, that you're gonna get to a point where it's just gonna cause ridiculous laziness in people, and we're not gonna be able to do things for ourselves anymore. That's a
I,
problem.
yeah. So I will say this though, and I try to live in fear. Well, I guess I would say concern. My concern is that then, because it may be because I shot the Mission Impossible 8, The Final Reckoning. Did you see that? Ed?
I
Have you
haven't
watched
seen it yet. Was it
it? Man,
good? I know you went to see it.
Chef's kiss. Shout out to Ethan Hunt. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
all right.
Listen, man. It might be the
Oh,
last one.
I got a question for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, hit it.
Once we get off this topic, I got a Mission Impossible question
Okay,
for
we'll
you.
do that.
A
Hey,
question,
no,
yeah.
it's kind of it's a good segue because I was gonna make a Mission Impossible point.
Okay.
Because I mean, because did you see the other one, the one before this one, part
I
7?
haven't seen the last two. I haven't seen the last two.
Jeez. Well, okay, I don't want to ruin it for you, but it
I
talks
don't
about
think you'll
AI.
ruin it. Okay.
It talks about AI, right? A lot. That's kind of the villain of the movie, and so like that. But it's like that got me thinking about this in terms of, you know, if it can outthink us and everything we do is digital now, what if there is some super AI that's like, nah, I'm the leader and I can turn the light, you know, traffic lights I control digitally, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Yeah.
water controls your heat, you know what I mean? Just like everything is now, and Pops might be right because
Damn,
it's
I'm
like
thinking about that right now. I put my sprinkler on a timer.
everything is, I can't think. So like,
It's gonna stop watering my grass, and my grass is gonna die.
if it
See,
wants to,
man,
it'll make
you
a
can't
point.
use this stuff, man.
But that, well, I don't say can't. I think it's how you use it. I think that's the issue. Because that's like saying when the cell, like, because again, perfect example, when the cell phones came out, my pop was still walking around with a beeper. He was like, "Yeah, I don't need no phone." He's looking crazy. It's so like at some point,
Hey,
it's like
nah.
I get a payphone, bruh. It's
Uh,
like 6 of them. You know what I'm saying? In the whole city. Are you serious right now?
he was Dr. Griggs, man. You know, Only
So no,
doctors wear
man.
pages now, man.
Look. He was trust me. He's like, y'all can page me. I'll call you back. I need a phone with somebody. Let me buy your smartphone. You know what I mean? Come on, pops.
I got a 911 here.
It's like I think it's my son. But but it's like, I'll say that to say, as you're going to have to use these tools, it's a matter of how we use them. And unfortunately, people use things for evil and to make money fast and cut corners. So I think, to your point, I think the negative use will get us in trouble. I'm just hoping they figure out a way to shut this down, because there isn't like a big plug you can pull in the Himalayas. It's like, all right, just enough of this. It's
No, it's
not
smarter than that.
not that, man. It was like, yeah, we was waiting for y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Got your whole
So
thing.
have fun with that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, trust me, I will say it gave me pause in how much I use it, and what information I'm putting in there, like what I'm asking it about. You know what I'm saying? It's I definitely use it just more thought starter, like, rework this thought, you know what I'm saying, that kind of thing. But I try not to use it just from scratch. Like, I'm trying to do this, I have no ideas. Give me an idea, right? It's like this is the idea I have. How can I make this better? So I don't know if that's right or wrong. We'll see. So go ahead. So
No,
what's
go
the Mission
ahead, go
Impossible
ahead.
question? You got a Mission Impossible question.
Who would you rather be, Ethan Hunt or Jason Bourne?
Ethan Hunt.
Why?
He's just, he's cool. Well, okay, let's give it a buzz. Give it a buzz. I was this podcast. Shout out to the Midnight Boys, and they were saying if John Wick, Ethan Hunt, Jason Bourne, James Bond, and the Transporter walked in the bar and had to fight to come out, it's like, who would come out? And it's like, well, John Wick obviously is wiping the floor with everybody, right? But
The Transporter is a man.
he getting washed. So the thing is this. I think John Wick is
Wait,
coming.
we talking about the same. We talking about the same. The Transporter is
Jason Statham.
Jason Statham. Yeah.
John Wick is breaking his face in half. Are you serious right now?
Jason Statham was going at like 150 miles an hour
Have you seen the John Wick movie,
through
sir?
the entire. I've seen the John Wick movies.
All four? You seen all four?
I've seen the first three. I haven't seen the fourth one
No,
yet.
no, I got to watch all the way through, brother. He's watching everybody. But I'll say this.
I mean, don't get me wrong. John Wick's a bad man, but
So here's the thing with Jason Bourne, and so I said to say this. The final two, they were like, it'll be Jason Bourne and John Wick, like fighting it out to the death, right? Because the point was Ethan Hunt needs gadgets, he need time for a plan. It's like, but just walking down the fight, he got some hands, but that dude was small. But I think for Ethan Hunt, the situations he finds himself in, like these impossible situations, I don't think a Jason Bourne necessarily he's not trained to get out of those. You know what I'm saying? He's trained to fight through a thing, and but like this, what is this? What am I in? That's the Ethan Hunt special, and I think that I'd rather be that than Jason Bourne.
I say Jason Bourne
straight
because
laced. He ain't got no fun. He have no fun.
Jason Bourne can think through things in a matter of seconds to figure out how to get out of there.
See, that's not real life.
That's
Ethan Hunt in real life. He on a plane. He's like, what? I'm upside down. Oh boy.
Ain't no
Oh,
planes. I gotta find a car, and oh man, let me find these passports.
Yeah.
And change my identity.
See, I think so too. Jason Bourne is so serious. It's so like, come on, man, have some fun. At least Ethan having fun. He kicking it with ladies. You know what I'm saying?
He's got to find a safe house.
Yeah, man. Ethan got cars all over the place. He got gadgets. You know what I'm saying? Ethan Hunt living that life.
Yeah. But what if he don't got that, man? If Ethan don't have that, he's done.
He doing what he gotta do.
Nah, I'm going with Bourne. Bourne.
I think y'all, but please watch Mission Impossible. I think it's Dead Reckoning and the Final Reckoning. I mean, I think it's the last one because there was some finality to it, but I feel like it's still a great movie to watch, man. I mean, it's funny you say I saw it because
yeah, you've been talking about it,
bro. And it did not let me down.
Yes, sir.
Man. So, on a serious note, and you guys have all seen this in the news about the LA riots, and it's getting pretty bad out there, right? So just a few things got you from perplexity, and I use speaking of Allen Iverson, I use it just again to kind of get a general thought. You and I can color it with our own thoughts that we have.
Okay.
And it was like this is real quick. The latest on the LA riots. centers on ongoing protests and clashes triggered by aggressive immigration and customs enforcement, also known as ICE, raids targeting undocumented immigrants, particularly in Latino communities. The unrest began after federal agents conducted large scale operations, leading to confrontations with the residents and activists who demanded an end to the raids and justice for those detained. Now, Dr. Williams and I talked about this a few times, like, the immigration policies. I think I read it was an article that we referenced that kind of talks about how you can, how you get trying to make sure. Oh, that's what it was. We were talking about how it was projected in 2050 that a lot of the minorities would be the majority, right?
Right.
And white people would no longer be the minority. But so it's like, and the caveat was, but it affects it depends on how immigration is handled in the years. That was a caveat in there. It's like it's following that playbook to be like, nah, we're gonna keep this country a certain way. Because here's the thing is Latinos aren't the only immigrants that are coming into the United States. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you hear immigration in this sense, it's black and brown people, right? And brown people in this instance, and it's like it's people coming from Eastern Europe and all other places that walking right in. I mean, the white South Africans, right? We haven't talked about that. The white, South Africans that were pretty much given supercars to come into the United States. And like, y'all good. Y'all are suffering from racism in South Africa, which was wild. But here it is. We have what's going on here. So President Donald Trump deployed thousands of National Guard troops and Marines. Estimates from 2,000 to 5,000 National Guard and up to 700 Marines to Los Angeles County to control the protests and assist ICE operations. There's been a curfew, a lot of arrests, a lot of protests, and demonstrators have blocked major highways, set fires, including, man, that's pretty wild. And so I know a lot of podcasts I listen to, they normally record in person, like at Spotify or whatnot. They were told to stay home because of kind of where they work. We're right in the middle of this stuff, and trying to keep people safe. And you hear all the different sides, and just so you guys have it, the federal government is claiming that ICE is they're targeting felons and gang members, but then the other side, of course, and then we see it as well, is not just that. It's like women and children are being hurt, right, and being thrown away as well. They're accusing local leaders of enabling lawlessness and failing to support federal law enforcement, pretty much harboring these quote unquote gangsters. But the other side are like, hey, we are protecting people. Because here's the thing, it's a slippery slope. That's what people don't see. You do this against this people, then who's to say in 5-10 years, it's like, all right, if you're 1/8 black, guess what? Whatever the repercussion is. That's why stuff got to get stopped. It has to be supported every turn, man. They're confusing the protests are accusing federal agents of tearing families apart, creating fear in communities. And we were dealing with some of that here in Chicago, where like they passed a law where if you were in school or something, that was safe haven. And they're saying, well, you guys are protecting people who could harm us in the city, and I don't know your thoughts. And I guess I kind of could assume your thoughts. I'll let you share your thoughts on this, but it's like, this is just let's just call it what it is, right? We knew what was happening when this administration was in office, right? And we know this MAGA thing and what that's trying to set, whatever course is trying to set straight what it is. And people, I know single issue voters, I know there are people who voted for Trump who you wouldn't think vote for Trump, and they're cool with this, but they're cool now because it's not affecting them. And when it affects them, then they'll want to be having support from other people. So that's why you got to nip this stuff like this in the bud. But go ahead, Ez. What are your thoughts?
First off, and is it wrong that I haven't been like totally entrenched in
No,
what's going on right now?
no.
Uh, LA riots.
Mm-hmm.
When I think of the LA riots, I think of what happened in '92 with
Mm-hmm.
the Rodney King riots, and um, they basically, destroyed many parts of South Central Los Angeles. That's not really what's going on down there. I mean, I know there've been some, you know, um, some cars that have been set on fire.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some things that have happened, but it's not like what's
Right.
happened in the past in LA, like the Watts riots,
No. And I think
the
well,
late '60s or
I will say this, right? I think especially I think it's still bad. I think what people are I think the issue is not just the demonstrations and protests happening. You know what I'm saying? It's like why they gotta have this demonstration in the first place. Like, all that's because ICE is down there just shaking people down and
yeah,
grabbing them and taking them. So like it's that on top of the people protesting. Right? I think with the riots, it's like the verdict came down, right? And everybody was just pissed. So it's
yeah,
like people were just everywhere wrecking shop. Just
right,
this is
right.
like, hey, y'all, and it's like these things are happening. These two groups are fighting against each other, and it's just kind of taking the city over. Um, but I just want to make sure that, as we always say, even check out the Super Duper Pod, but then check out another sources to get your information. According to Ed, don't trust that AI. He might be right, but see, check out
I know I'm
CNN,
right. I know I'm right.
MSNBC, anything else just to get more information. But please make sure you're paying attention to what's happening, and just take our word for it, right? Know it for yourself.
That's one, and then two. It seems like Trump is trying to take over the narrative by sending in, taking control of the California National Guard,
Mm-hmm.
sending in Marines
Mm-hmm.
into the situation when, in actuality, it may not be necessary. And I guess today, um, a judge ruled in favor of the state of California
Yeah.
and Governor Newsom for him
Mm-hmm.
to regain control of his National Guard
Yeah, because
troops there.
because the National Guard is a request from the governor, not from the
Right,
president, right?
right.
And here's the thing: you're talking on both sides of their neck. Because like, give the state. So with the what was it? Even with abortion, right? It was like let the states handle it, right? That was the whole premise. The
Yeah.
federal government shouldn't handle it. Let the states deal with it. Okay, if they can deal with that, why can't they deal with this? And again, word of the day: slippery slope. Because if we cool with him just going to California, sending police, National
And
Guard, and
and
Marines,
and Marines. That's the big one.
who's to say? Because I mean, it's an annual thing, so it's not like it doesn't happen. In Chicago, when the weather get consistently warm, and there be that series of shootings and whatnot, and who's to say he doesn't go? You know what, Chicago, this or just anything happens anywhere, right? It was like he's then sending the army wherever he wants to. It's like, hey, bro, won't need the Marines?
Right,
Like, hold
right,
on, you're making it worse. So I feel like this is just everything we see. We talk about it as time and time again. Sirens, please, when you see stuff like this, it's not just an isolated incident. You have to connect to everything else. So this is happening. He's seeing how far he will go, right? What people will accept, what he can get them to believe, and then next thing you know, in New York, next thing's going to happen. Trump is sending the guard, and he's sending, and now it's making it worse. And now we got this kind of military state happening,
right.
and that's a little. I don't think we prepared for that to happen, right? So, you know, that's why it's good. That's why it's good to know what's happening and paying attention. And shout out to my parents, my octogenarians, because they watching the news every day. They could probably just probably better than us. They know the news better. They know everything he's doing, man. So I don't know how to segue into this, like, but it's Father's Day, guys. It's coming up, and you know how I feel about Father's Day because I talk about Mother's Day often. I know you guys got your Christmas. Hey, hold on, man. Get your father a gift yet?
No.
Oh God. See, now here's the thing. I'm gonna point you out because when we said Mother's Day, you was like, bro, come on, man, quiet, man. I gotta get him a gift. You just outright was like, nah, I ain't got it yet.
We got
Come on,
time. We got time.
dude. It's Sunday. I mean, even though I haven't got my gifts for my Father's Day, but
I'm
I know
saying,
other
so
people do.
don't
I know. Listen,
throw shade on
I
me.
got to be honest, okay, with the people. I completely get. I understand.
Don't throw shade on me. Yeah.
But but it's different though, because truly, because even being a father, I know I make a big mess, a big fuss about it. My family knows I do. I don't play. Father's Day, I'm getting celebrated, right? But in my heart of hearts, I don't really need a gift. I'm
No.
just big on the,
I mean,
me
what do you really
celebrating.
need? What do you really
Yeah,
need?
I mean, honestly, I tell you this: it was one Father's. No, it was my birthday actually, and family nights. Everybody gets a birthday after you get a party after your birthday. You know how my mother is,
Mm-hmm.
and you know,
Gotta get it first. Gotta have the dough
hey,
first.
listen, got you did date because she say you get hit by a bus, and I wish you happy birthday. Now I
Yeah.
look crazy. Love my
That's
mom, man.
that's sound logic right there, man.
It's like I done told you happy birthday, and I get hit by a bus. So no, but her thing, they were, we would say happy birthday to me, and my son Aiden came out and was like, hey, everybody. I might cry thinking about it. He said, I just want to say, Dad, you are the best dad in the world, and I love you so much. And I mean, it was just like, whoa. So like for me, Father's Day, I think just that the people that you are father to, what I'm saying, if you're married, you have a significant other, they recognize the father you're trying to be. And I
And
think
then, but don't forget, then he said, and those Air Jordan 4s are coming out, and
see, don't steal
I
my
need to
joy,
get a
man. I hate you,
pair.
man. Don't steal my joy. I hate you real. I hate you for real. But it's like I think that's what a real father wants. It's just to be, because truly, man, we don't do this. You don't do it for accolades. You don't do it to be told, right, for gifts. But you just want to know that the people you're doing it for appreciate it, right? Because that gives you the fuel when you tired, or it's like you got to fix this thing and it's due tomorrow for the kid. Everybody sleep but you know what I'm saying? Or your back hurt, but guess what? You still got to fix these things and lift these things. Doesn't matter. You just want to make sure that they appreciate what you do. So I found a list of some Father's Day gifts on here. So I guess we got time. Y'all got
Yeah,
time
help
to
me out.
Amazon.
That'll
Yeah,
work.
here we go.
Let's
Because
see.
I know y'all ain't got nothing yet. I know everybody gonna be driving like a maniac tomorrow. No, actually, no, y'all not. Y'all gonna give people gift cards and just IOUs. I got you in July. You know what I'm saying? Fathers, still take your gifts. So here we go. Text and gadgets. Noise canceling headphones. I mean, I guess. This smart bird feeders was on the list. I was like, man,
No
listen,
dad wants
do
that.
you know I would turn a Father's Day party out? Somebody go, hey, happy Father's Day, Rob. What is this? What is this? Where's the receipt? I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not using this. Jordan
Nah.
4s. Wearable wellness trackers. Now, the thing is this. Shout out to Broski. For my birthday once, he got a Fitbit. He bought me a Fitbit. At
Okay.
first, I was like, man, what is this? But then once you start wearing it, you really start keeping like tabs on your steps, your heart rate. If you like, one time it tracked how much I was sleeping. It was like 4 hours, 5. I was like, oh God, I'm not sleeping at all. So I was trying to sleep. So I feel like that's actually a good gift, especially for a dad that's like 40, 50 years old. Bluetooth speakers, can't go wrong, man. I should get my pop one of those. But again, he got the basic phones. It might even connect to Bluetooth speaker. No, no, my pops, man. A Yeti cooler. Now that's actually not a bad idea, right? That's actually not a bad idea. My sister Sharon, shout out to her. One year she got all the dads like these. I still got mine. I think I jacked my dad's because I don't know what happened to mine. But got us like these double seats. You can kind of sit outside in the park. Got an umbrella. Got a little cooler in the middle. I mean, I love that gift, right? But a cooler, because I'm telling you, a cooler is clutch, especially summer. You know what I'm saying? Summertime, like when the kids were younger, man. I would just keep juice boxes and stuff in a cooler all summer long, right? It's like when it's time we roll a hit, y'all know what it is. Get the crack and get it going, man.
Mm-hmm.
A smokeless fire pit. So y'all might have to get that 1 day shipping on Amazon for that one. Golf range finders and interactive mugs. So
Your dad
uh,
golfs.
no, I thought about it. I don't think he doesn't have the patience because I don't have the patience. He doesn't have the patience times 10. So I know he would just like be out there for 20 minutes, like, yeah, enough of this, son.
My dad has a
Wow.
bunch of golf equipment, but I don't know how often he actually plays though.
I know you told me Pop. Well, I won't put his business out there. I know you told me Pops don't like to golf in front of you too much, right? Or did you
No,
say
not
something?
me in front of people.
Okay.
I'm not
just,
people.
just you like whatever, dude. For other
Yeah,
people, he'll do it, huh? That's hilarious.
yeah. He doesn't want to be like the guy that's holding things up and you know.
Listen, I understand because at the range, killing the ball. But it's like once I get out on the tee, it's the worst, man.
Yeah.
It's and that first shot. Once you get that first shot bad, everybody looking at you like, people don't say nothing, but you see a disappointed stares. It's like, oh,
We
that's
all we
how you
all
playing.
suck at golf, man. Unless you're on the PGA tour, you probably suck. So don't worry about it.
I gotta say, I know I say all the time. Chase is nice. We gotta do go to South Shore, man. Do a 9. I'm telling you, he's very good, very, very good.
All right.
So talk grilling and BBQ accessories.
Okay.
So you can't never go wrong with that because everybody's trying to be a better griller. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's wrong with that. Now, battery organizers, again, just telling you right now, don't get that for me. Throwing it at you.
Nah.
Just give me the receipt. Or just tell me you don't love me. Just what we beating around the bush for? Just say, I don't like you. I got your battery organizer. Thanks. So now they got food and drink charcuterie boards. Come on, man. What kind of dad? I know we got new dads.
He doesn't want
We got
that.
new dads, but stop. Now, a craft cocktail set, not a bad idea, depending on, but I feel like most dads like some, I'll take that brown or, might be some beer for you, sir. Gourmet chocolates, again,
No.
you bought this for y'all. Y'all didn't buy this for me. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, Dad, can we have some chocolates? I bet you do want some of this. And I would say, no, it's mine. Happy Father's Day. E-readers and books, board games, I guess. One idea they have is subscription boxes for history by mail, delivers real letters and historical artifacts, ideal for dad to love to learn. Now, so every month or however often the subscription box is, it'll be history by mail. So it'll deliver a letter that has historical artifacts or just notes about a historical artifact. And so, like, if you're a dad, like, you just have some random information you learn about every week or month, however often it comes. That's not a horrible idea. That's a very specific gift for a very specific type of dad. You know
Depends on if he's into that sort of
and
thing.
I think that's like a gift if a teenager got it for you. Go, okay, I appreciate that. You're just trying to learn, send something new and ideal. Got it. And then a personalized keepsakes. I've gotten those mouse pads with the kids' pictures on them, or keychains, ties with all their pictures. The thing is, they never like. It's weird because if you can wear it on Father's Day, they never look right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you wear it, but I can't wear it in February because it looks like a bad tie. So it's like it just hangs up, man. Nothing you can do with it. But those are some ideas. Again, if you're hearing this, I know you already didn't get your gifts. So just go ahead and slide some money in that man pocket, or give him that wonderful IOU. I got you next week. You don't care. But if nothing else, just tell him, especially if he's a good dad. Like, if tell them this if it's real, that you see what he's doing, that you are proud of him if you are so proud, and that, what I'm saying, you and his family appreciates all that he does for his family. Because I'm telling you, that goes a long way for a man, and for a dad that's really trying to love his children, love his family, man. So happy Father's Day to everybody out there. One last thing before we got here, kind of tied to the same thing. June is Men's Mental Health Month. I've heard this on the Pivot podcast, a few other podcasts, and just kind of with this whole thing about showing people you appreciate them. And I heard somewhere how, like, men don't hear a lot of compliments. Like, how often are you complimented, sir? How often do you hear compliments?
Not often.
Yeah, and again, most guys don't hear compliments all the time. I think people don't. When you say that, people are like, oh, people say, no. I think people think it's giving a man a compliment invite some other things, so it may not happen as much. But men face several significant barriers when it comes to improving their mental health. Right, that's something we've talked about a lot. We talk about this on the pod, just how men can feel alone, and have nobody to talk to. And I know, as we got a group of guys, I don't get to see the guys as much anymore, but that we had points in time we shared a lot, what I'm saying, and guys I feel like we got a group of guys where if you had to talk about something, you can call one of the fellas, right? And they'll come find you, what I'm saying, and just let you talk it through. And I'm sure it's happened where, it's been I know some fellas have called me, right? And it's like, okay, you cool? Not got it. We'll talk as long as you need to, you know what I'm saying? But a few points about, like, why it's a barrier for men to improve their mental health, because this is a big deal. You think about how many men, we talked about it before, I think the last couple pods ago, just how the suicide rates for men are increasing, and just the lack of friendships that men have. And so here's some primary barriers to men kind of taking care of their mental health: societal stigma and traditional masculinity norms, and that's real. Like I think you think about what it's supposed to be a quote unquote man, what that means, and you think it means like always being strong, always having an answer, you know, always knowing what to do, right? And that's like impossible to be all those things because you don't always know what to do, and it feels like sometimes you can't. I don't know how you feel about it is, but it's like sometimes you feel like if I say I don't know how to do, that means I didn't go to man class. Like maybe it was something I missed, right? But then you have to learn that like actually nobody knows what they're doing. A lot of guys are faking it, you know what I'm saying, and just hoping nobody finds out. I think the true strength is saying, "Hey, I don't know what to do with this. I actually need a lot of help." You know what I'm saying? I always think about Kobe, God rest his soul. People think, you would assume he did everything by himself, but Kobe reached out to a lot of people about like, how do I get better at this? How do I learn this? He and Michael Jordan talked all the time. He was more picking his brain about like, how can I be better? How can I be like you? Right.
And
And a
and
lot of,
then would use it against him though.
so what now?
I said then would use it against him.
Oh yeah. Well,
He was
that's
he was
Mike.
cold. He was cold-blooded like that.
Yeah, man. That's how it goes, man. But getting to go. That's how my MJ is. But no,
Oh
but I
no,
think
I'm talking about Kobe.
oh yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Uh,
No, but I mean, but he talked like to Michael Jackson. He talked like people that wasn't even in the NBA. He's reached out to folks and be like, "Hey, how do you do this? How do you get there?" Um, fear, and we talked about fear of judgment or perceived weakness. Because again, it's like you don't want. I think I don't know how you get that, how you think about that. But it's like you don't want to tell anybody your weaknesses because you feel like they'll use it against you. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't want to share something. I know I'm like that. I don't like sharing everything with people because you feel at some point they will use it. They will use it in some instance because everybody, some friendships fall apart, people fall apart, and that'd be the one thing they be telling people about is that one thing. I try to be straight up. If you tell me something with confidence, even if we just on the outs, I will never share that. If it was definitely like in confidence, I don't care what you say or do to me. That part I won't. Well, it depends what you're doing, but I won't. I try not to share it. You know what I mean? Unless you just outright killing me. I mean, all right. If you want to get froggy, let's get froggy. All right. Lack of communication skills and support networks. I talk about this often, where I think it's just harder for men to talk through. And I know I'm in a different situation where like I grew up with my sisters and my niece and my mom, and it was constantly like, you got to talk. My mother's is famous if you can't come in the house with a weird face because she's gonna be like, "What's wrong with you?" And nothing wasn't an answer that would suffice. You had to answer her. It'd be like, and once you said, "Well, this happened to me at school. I feel really bad, and I just want to be left alone," she'll go, "Okay," and leave you alone. But you had to say what was going on with you. Now I know that's not a big thing. I know that a lot of men didn't get to have that, right? And so a lot of men don't know how to express themselves. So it comes out mean, grumpy, or they get dedicated into the gym or something else. It's like they take it out in these other areas. And support networks. It's not a lot for men. We talk dads and don'ts. Growing that into something to be a support network for dads who will have children with that are neurodiverse and are disabled. And I've told the story before, but the chipmunks were born and their mom and I were in the hospital and talking to a social worker. And I'll never forget it. Social worker came in as with a folder of stuff, just pamphlets. And was like, "So mom, we got this group, you call these people, you can do this, this, this." And she stopped talking. I said, and none for me. So like, I mean, I got kids too. She's like, "Oh, you can start your own thing." What? You've given her an entire folder of stuff and you telling me to start it? Get out of here. Now again, I got community, I got people, got church, all the stuff that I got support groups. But the thing is, every dad, every man doesn't have that. You know what I'm saying? And so you end up trying to find spaces and places where you can feel accepted or share your truth. Or some men just never get a chance to do that. So they end up living this life where they're not themselves. And that can mess with your mind when you're not like being you. You're living, a double life. And that can kind of get mixed up in a weird way. I mean, have you seen Severance at all?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's like, that whole thing, right? When it's starting to meld your work life and the innie and the outie, and it's like they start to clash, even though it's the same person. I mean, although that was a TV show, there's some reality in that, right? We're one way in this space, and we're one way when we leave said space. but the goal is to be the same person, right, in all spaces. That's truly like true, real positive mental health. You can be yourself wherever you are, and unfortunately, everybody isn't like that. And
Right.
so, so I and also looked about in terms of how does it affect Black men. You think about all the barriers we deal with: systematic racism, cultural stigma, uh, economic disparities. Black men are disproportionately, and this is from Perplexity, exposed to childhood adversity, racial discrimination, and ongoing microaggressions always contribute to chronic stress and mental health challenges. And I think that's something we as Black men, is like, you just try to be tough. The world's tough. You mean, dads are mean to the sons to make them tough for the world. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's the right way, because they end up being mean people, mean to your kid, your son. All they want is sometimes, and I know this probably ain't probably get killed for, but sometimes truly it's okay to hug your son and say, it's okay. It's bad. I know that sucked. Because I know as a kid, that's what I need to hear every once in a while. Like, yeah, that was messed up. Yeah, I'm sorry, son. That's bad. And that probably would have changed how I look at certain things. You know what I'm saying? But I think the older we get, I think we always have a chance to make it better for the next generation. Like, I'm proud. I mean, I told you this as Brooklyn ran track. Well, let me start over. Brooklyn wasted my money trying to run track one summer. And, but I remember it was his dad and his son next to us. And we were waiting for her race, the race that I ran, that she did not run. Shout out to Brooklyn, love her very much. And, but I heard him going, you MFer, you ain't doing good enough. And I'm like, let's sit up, look around. And he's like, you ain't doing good enough. You need to practice harder, run better. And the boy was like 9, 10 years old. He cussing him out. And I'm thinking, like, do I get in the middle of this? Like, well, I mean, no, because he taking him home and talking to him worse than this, right? And then, but it made me, at first I was like, because my sons, they hug me, they cry in front of me, you know what I'm saying? It's like we talk it through, it's still like, all right, get it together, keep it moving. And I was thinking, like, am I too nice over there? Am I raising too nice of two kids that are too nice? You know what I'm saying? But it was really like, because you think about people in the world, like Pat Riley had a famous quote. He's like, he's successful because he's trying to prove his father wrong. Like, it was something like, in his story, he didn't have a good relationship with his father, and he's wanted to prove him wrong. So that's why he became successful. That's where your success comes from, this level of fear. That's not healthy. I mean, you're still successful, but that's not a healthy place that it comes from.
Right.
And it's like, but that's the thing, you grow up with that, like, I gotta treat you mean because the world is mean. The world is mean. It is, but then also that's a negative effect on the relationship they may have, right? How he treats other people, how he teaches other people. That's not a good trait. You thinking it's gonna stop and he'll get this part of it, but it might permeate into the rest of his life.
Mhm.
And now we got an issue on our hands. I don't know why he like this. You cussing him out for a track. You know what I'm saying? He ain't break a car, like he ain't had cocaine in his bag. He just didn't run as fast as he could. I mean, I don't think you ain't got to get MF'd at 9, 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? Again, I know I talk about my parents a lot, but they're wise. My mother would always say, you got to respect the kid, right?
Yeah.
She said, because it's like, them losing their crayons, or they're losing their folder, is the equivalent of you losing your wallet, right? And so you have to respect their feelings. And that's something like I always think about, that when they're upset about something, because it's easy to say, that's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Get over it. But hey, man, you know what kind of art they were doing with these crayons. It means a lot to them. And so you have to respect their feelings. But I think it's something just to think about for men who are struggling with your mental health. There are places you can go. I think everybody should consider getting a therapist. I feel like people think you should only get a therapist when you're like down on your luck. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm in such a bad straits, but like all of us have stuff that we are dealing with in our quiet time, that we are thinking about. There are lies that we tell ourselves, right? It's lies that we tell ourselves that we can't do something, or we're not meant for better, we're not meant for greater, and you start to believe it and you respond to your life a certain way because of that. And so, like, talking to a therapist will help you kind of get through that, because, and I would say this, a therapist is also an objective person. Like, it's still, you have to talk to your family and still talk to your, significant other, if you're married, your wife, and even share stuff with your kids, like just in terms of, this is how I was struggling with this. And my dad was talking about stuff in college, how he struggled. I was like, man, I was dealing with the same thing in college. I heard this at 45. Why am I hearing this at 45? You know what I'm saying? I would love to hear this when I was 19. You know what I mean? But also back to the therapist point, because the thing is, when you talk to your family and your friends, it's a lot of assumption because they were there with you depending on what you're talking about. So you kind of skip some steps or cut right to certain parts of the story because you assume everybody knows. But when you tell it to an objective person, you kind of got to go back to the real beginning. And it might be stuff you never thought about, like, hey, I forgot that happened. You know what I'm saying? Because I've told the story to people who knew about it. So I cut to the end. When you tell somebody who doesn't know and they don't care either way, they just want to hear the story for what it is. You get to a point like, oh, maybe there was another reason why this bothered me, or why I always hated this particular day, or why, when I hear this song on the radio, I want to bust somebody in the face, right? So you need to have an objective thought. And I encourage everybody to find somebody that's, that you can speak with. And it's not about having a therapist for a very, forever. It might be just something, okay, I just need to work some things out I've been thinking about, and it makes me sad, or I'm having a tough time talking with my wife or girlfriend. I want to be able to talk better with it. I think you have to have a specific goal, but you got to be honest with yourself of what's going on with you, I think that's something to consider, because I don't want any man out here to feel like they are alone or they got nobody to speak with. That's just not true. You know what I'm saying? It's like, even if, and it's easy for me to say because I know my family is close, and as you and I talk about it often, we're one of the few people we know where we're closer with our families, not just our parents, but we love our siblings, and we all get together, and that's just not everybody's story. So I want to be very sensitive when I say this, that you are not alone, because I know some people feel like they are alone. But there are resources, there are people, there are communities you can find that will help you get through whatever mental health issues that you may be dealing with. And the thing is, you're not by yourself. Some people just hide it better than others. But I think the true mark of a man is just being able to say, I need help with this, and going to find it, right? It's one thing to be like, I need help, and I do nothing about it. Now you just playing yourself. Something's wrong. That's like, something wrong with your engine. You keep driving this car, you never will get it fixed. It's going to blow up on you in the middle of the street, right? But the true mark is knowing that something is wrong and you dealing with it, and not just having hard conversations with people, but having hard conversations with yourself. So fellas, take care of yourself. Again, into those women that are listening, if you got a man in your life, brother, husband, son, nephew, cousin, good friend, great friend, situationship, whatever it is, encourage that man to seek help if you think he needs it, right? And not in a way that, you crazy, you need some therapy. That's a little aggressive. But it's like, if that brother's struggling with some stuff, right? Because I think also too this, it can't be he gets therapy and then, he shared with you. That's his private space and time, depending on what he's talking about. But I think just encouraging him to be the best version of himself that he can be, right? That'll make everything better. So that's our show for today. Appreciate you guys listening. Miss y'all. But we will definitely be getting back on schedule here. And again, happy belated to the one and only S. McMahon, sir. Glad you enjoyed your trip to Puerto Rico. Ho! Make sure you check us out on all socials, SUPADPAPOD, online at HP53productions.com, and on YouTube. I'll do my serious face as I was talking about mental health. You guys can see my serious face on YouTube. So, as I miss anything?
No, I think you covered it all.
Sure. So, guys, men and women, make sure you take care of yourselves and each other. Hey, mama, this is the Supa Dupa podcast.
Champagne, real pain, champagne from you and I. Wait, you and I? Now that's champagne if you was I. Would you be off on this campaign? Is it suicide? If you know that bringing hope here is how careers die. Or do the K stand for kamikaze? The J silent is everywhere, you can feel them probably. Surely, lately, I've been up late with demons in my basement trying to get me to hate this. Life thinking I should be further and then I choke up. As soon as I got silent, then the truth spoke up. This said, how you know you ain't perfect? Let that soak up and soak in. You know how you know that you blessed? I woke